Humanity, as a species, is fairly average, perhaps even a little below average in most physical comparisons. They are not overly large. They lack the natural armor and weapons of many predator species that eventually evolve sentience and many millennia later come to join the galactic community. Though, remember, the galactic community is not a singular community. There are many factions and sects that come into conflict over everything from beliefs to resources and territory. As you all know, this is the case for almost every sentient race, and has carried over into the larger galactic community as a consequence of this ubiquitous behaviour. I diverge though. The subject of today's lesson is humanity. This tenacious and short-lived species required a mere 66 years from the time of their first powered flight to their planet's orbital moon. Most species take hundreds of years to move from powered flight to spaceflight. Humanity, however, through an odd mix of bravado, ingenuity, luck, and sheer determination of combined will, pushed competing factions farther and farther into the bleeding edge of their technological progress. You may begin to think that perhaps then, if it was competition and inviting that pushed humanity into their headlong push into high technology, and being the youngest sentient race on record to develop FTL and join the galactic community, that they would be a warrior culture completely focused on combat and expansion. This is, however, not the case, though some smaller sects of the species to exhibit behaviours similar to this. They form armies or specific warrior cults that make the entire goal of their existence to hone their skills in what they call the art of war. Even within these warrior cults, however, humans show the greatest trait of their species that allowed them not only to expand into the galaxy as a whole, but come to control it. You may note that the humans are not on the Galactic Council, or that they do not participate in the great treaties between factions anymore. This is explained simply, though. The humans are members of every remaining faction. I will finally reveal their trick, their most powerful of skills and evolutionary advantage: pack bonding. Many of you have quite possibly seen or even interacted with pack species before, possibly even humans themselves. What makes this trait so unique in the humans, however, is that through some fluke in their evolutionary process, they began to bond not just with other humans, but with other species. The most notable of these is what they commonly refer to as companion animals, or pets. Their early development of humanity was plagued by competition with a canine pack predator that regularly hunted and harassed their nomadic ancestors. Rather than migrating to safer regions, banding together to hunt their predators into extinction, or any number of other logical solutions, the humans bonded with them. It is thought that this began when human tribes fostered the orphaned young of these predators, even nursing them as they would their own children. As horrifying as this may sound, it worked. The humans then continued this trend and even developed an entire culture and eventually entire industries based around domestication of wild fauna. The humans didn't stop at bonding with their own wild fauna, however. Once they reached the stars and began to spread from planet to planet, no creature was safe from their ubiquitous love for anything cute. Though keep in mind, every single human has a different idea of what cute is. As a result, there is almost nothing that can be considered safe from a human pack bond. In isolated environments, humans have even been observed to pack bond with inanimate objects. This is even more pronounced if the object has anything even remotely resembling a human facial structure, down to a simple pair of dots above a curved or straight line. This led to humanity spreading out with almost every sentient species they encountered, forming familial bonds with the crew of any ship they served aboard. Humanity became ubiquitous with space travel, oftentimes accompanied by any number of exotic or even dangerous creatures from any number of known or unknown worlds. New regulations had to be implemented to safeguard humans from their own need for companionship. Nobody foresaw the consequences of this, however. The first war of Retribution was almost completely unexpected. the warlike tendencies of the humans nearly forgotten, or dismissed entirely. When it was mentioned alongside the experience of these friendly beings who bonded with everything, nobody believed the anger and wrath they could summon when truly offended or hurt. The Gastoli were a purely warrior culture, their rights and status derived from battle and conquest alone. Soon after expanding out of their home arm of the Milky Way, they made a fatal error. It is unknown if this came from unilateral policy, a single ship captain attempting to gain glory, or even a simple mistake. The culture of the Gastoli did not allow them to back down once a fight had been picked. They fought to the very last, before anyone even realized it was the last. The mistake they made was during the aftermath of a simple conquest. They took control of a space station, and while rounding up the survivors as prisoners to enslave for labor, they encountered a group of humans and their communal pack-bonded predator, or mascot. When the soldiers of the Gastoli attempted to round up the humans, their pack-bonded attacked and severely injured one of the soldiers. Taking offense to this, the soldiers destroyed the entire group of humans. Unfortunately for them, the killing of the humans and their pack-bonded was caught on video. This video was distributed across the data networks as intelligence data at first, and quickly passed from human to human. They cried out as one. Every single human on every single ship and planet across the galaxy cried for war. They would have fought mightily against the Gastoli if they had rallied their own fleets and waged battle as a unified species. The humans, however, did not simply rally their own fleets. They rallied the fleets of their pack-bonded. The bond of a human is strong, after all, an intense outpouring of familiar emotions and trust that can overwhelm unprepared beings. Once the bond is formed, it must be protected from both sides. The humans rallied not just themselves, but every single ship, crew, and creature they had bonded with. The fleet swarmed through systems, barely slowing to clear inhabited worlds where humans rode or carried their bonded beasts into battle, sometimes fighting alongside, sometimes protecting or being protected by, sometimes even throwing their bonded onto their enemies, where the humans' empathy was reversed to fill their allies with a terrible rage. Before anyone realized how far they had gone or how hard they had fought, the Gastoli were gone. Every ship destroyed, every planet cleansed. Beware the wrath of humanity. They will not rally their fleets alone.